Deanna Willison with Blooming Catholic Life. Apologies quickly, you can see my hair blowing. I had a water repairman here and I turned this AC off to film my last videos, then left it alone for a couple hours so the room's plenty hot. I need to run the AC, so there's a little background noise. My apologies sincerely there. I hope I have the volume up pretty high on here, so you should be good, but I just wanted to clear that up. So today's book this is not a book review. Stay with me. Stay with me. This is not actually a book review, and yet it is. Blah, blah, blah. I know. You'll see. It's very Deanna video. We've been doing a lot of papal documents. So this is a collection of papal documents, and you're probably like I was, tempted to buy this. I used this book in my classes up at Holy Apostles College and Seminary, but I don't think it was a recommended book. I think I got it because so many of the papal documents were inside it. So I've never fully looked at it. These editors are very important to what this is. Let's dive in. It's kind of funny. I picked it up today and I was like, oh. It's published by Orbis Books in Maryknoll, New York. And it is copyrighted in 1992 and 2010. Ooh, let's see here. Orbis Books, founded in 1970. Orbis Books endeavors to publish works that enlighten the mind, nourish the spirit, and challenge the conscience. The publishing arm of the Maryknoll Fathers and Brothers, Orbis seeks to explore the global dimensions of the Christian faith and mission, to invite dialogue with diverse cultures and religious traditions, and to serve the cause of reconciliation and peace. The books published reflect the views of their author and do not represent the official position of the Maryknoll Society. To learn more about Maryknoll and Orbis Books, please visit our website at www.maryknollsociety.org. It does have some copyrighted things here. The Challenge of Peace, God's Promise and Our Response is copyrighted by the U.S. Catholic Conference. Economic Justice for All. Oh, all the documents. Come on up, Rusty. Come on. All the documents written by the United States Catholic Conference are copyrighted by them. Short version. And there's one Benedict XVI's encyclical letter, Caritas in Veritae, is copyrighted 2009 by the Vatican, the Libera Editrice Vaticana. The dedication is to the past and current members of the staff of the Department of Social Development and World Peace of the United States Catholic Conference, and in particular to J. Brian Hare, in gratitude for their entire efforts on the social mission of the Catholic Church. Notice the United States Catholic Conference, I think that's the organization that was preceded the USCCB. The book is set up not in any way how I would do it. To me, this is crazy talk. Let me show you. So here we have, introduction, preface, introduction to Roman Catholic social teaching, and you can see you have to really jump over to find the number, but then it gets wacky because here's the main section, part 1, and it tells you the name of the popes, and then the main date for the document, but then there's an introduction, and then there's the text itself. Here's the main number for this section for this document, the introduction, and the text itself. Very odd. I don't think we've found this layout anywhere else. I mean, it's only a couple pages. It's like 2-3 pages for the introduction. I think they could have left it go, but they felt like doing it this way. It goes on to the next. Yeah, it's a full another page. So let me say what these parts are so you know what's in the book. Part 1 is the classic text of Leo XIII and Pius XI. Rerum Novarum, The Condition of Labor by Leo XIII, 1891. And Quadragesimo Anno, After 40 Years by Pius XI, 1931. You'd think they would just have a section because Rerum Novarum has a bunch of response documents later on. You'd think they'd put those on one section, but that's not what they chose to do. Part 2 is Catholic Social Thought in Transition. So this is Mater et Magistra, Christianity and Social Progress by John the 23rd, 1961. Pacem in Terris, Peace on Earth, John the 23rd, 1963. Part 3 is Vatican II and Post-Conciliar Catholic Social Teaching including Gaudium et Spes, Pastoral Constitution on the Church in the Modern World, Second Vatican Council, 1965, Popularum Progressio on the Development of Peoples, Paul VI, 1967, Octogesima Adveniens, a call to action on the 80th anniversary of Rerum Novarum, Paul VI, 1971. See what I mean? There's more. Justice in the World by the Synod of Bishops in 1971, Evangelii Nuntiandi, Evangelization in the Modern World, that's Paul VI, 1975. The next section is Part 4, Social Teaching of John Paul II and Benedict XVI, Laborum Exercens on Human Work, 1981. This doesn't differentiate which of the popes did these, and that could be because Benedict helped write some of John Paul II's work. I don't know. It's really odd that it's done this way, but it is. Solitudio Rei Socialis on Social Concern, 1987. Centesimus Annus on the 100th anniversary of Rerum Novarum. So we had 40, 80, and 100 for Rerum Novarum. Caritas and Veritate on Integral Human Development in Charity and Truth, 2009. Part 5 is the U.S. Bishops and Catholic Social Teaching. They have Brothers and Sisters to Us, 1979. The Challenge of Peace, God's Promise and Our Response, 1983. Economic Justice for All, 1986. It's interesting that everything else is put in time order except for the U.S. Bishops' documents. We really need to, when looking at this book, we need to look at the preface. And so we're going to jump in and do that. And then I can do like a nerdy little book review. I'll tell you, the page numbers are in the outer upper corners, I think always. Perhaps there's an instance or two where it's not, but it's in the outer ups corner. On the left-hand page, on the inside crack of the page, because sometimes it's a little hard to see, you really have to crack the book open, is the Latin name of the document on the left and an English translation on the right, a short version, like Pacem in Terris and then Peace on Earth. What does it look like? It has a lot of the same markings as the papal documents themselves. Let me really crack that open for you. So the same segment headers and whatnot, same numbering systems. So the documents are set up pretty much the same. Is it just a book of documents? No, those introductions are massively important to this book. But you can always ignore them and just use the documents. In my graduate studies, I only used the documents themselves. I didn't even look at the introductions because I had teachers presenting them to me. I had no need to read the introductions, and I can guarantee you I did not. Let's read the preface. Since 1978, when our previous collection of many of these documents, Renewing the Earth, was published by Doubleday, a great deal has happened in the Roman Catholic Church. Two things to notice there, the Renewing the Earth, 78. It's just classic, right? And it was published by Doubleday, so a big, popular publisher. For one thing, John Paul II deepened the theological and cultural foundations of Catholic social teaching. He also broadened its reach by his courage and truthfulness, commanding attention as he traveled the globe, moving among the powerful and the powerless. At the same time, the Pope and his Curia challenged some developments of Catholic social theology, particularly in Latin America. They even more forcefully attempted to control the application of Catholic teaching in concrete political contexts. Where once there was a more or less top-down character to Catholic social teaching, as local churches and apostolic movements attempted to apply official doctrine to specific problems, there is now a sharp debate, sometimes between Rome and local churches, about poverty and politics, about markets, economic growth, political pluralism, and many other issues. Goodness, friends. Another major development since 1978 has been the vigorous development of American Catholic social thought, most notably in pastoral letters from the American bishops on such crucial subjects as racism, nuclear weapons, and the economy. These pastorals make original contributions to the developing tradition, little t tradition, not only in their content, but in their increasingly democratic method of preparation and presentation. They have won considerable attention not only within the church, but in the larger society as well. Interesting there, it's talking about increasingly democratic method. And now, although there had been synods in the past, we're looking at this new synod of synods where even laity are going to be given a chance to vote. I don't know about that increasingly democratic method. The Catholic Church has always been top down. It's always been top down. So it's a little odd to hear them talking about, yay, increasingly democratic. And there are reasons why that's a little, I don't know, right? They're letting laity and women vote, people who may not have the training, and even just the purpose from God, for that. I'm not thinking of the appropriate word there, but you think our Lord himself trained the apostles, and they spent 3 years with him in formation with Jesus. It's hard to compare that to anything today, but even our priests have a great deal of training to become a priest, let alone before they become a bishop, let alone before, their opinions are taken to the Pope. And even then, it's not a democratic process. That is them bringing their opinions to him. Oh my goodness, friends. I'm hosting evening prayer in a little bit, and everybody's texting me whether they're coming or not. Goodness, I invite you all, no matter what. So just some interesting, very interesting things to note there. Let's go on. The Centennial of Rerum Novarum in 1991 occasioned publication of a new collection of basic documents, including the last social encyclical of Pope John Paul II, Centesimus Annus, and the major pastorals of the United States bishops. In this new edition, published in 2010, we've added the latest social encyclical by Pope Benedict XVI, while also rectifying the unfortunate omission from the earlier edition of the U.S. Bishop's Pastoral Letter on Racism, Brothers and Sisters to Us. In selecting documents, we have tried to present the central elements of church teaching as well as contemporary appropriation. We have confined ourselves in this text to papal, conciliar, and North American documents, as the Latin American and other global materials are available elsewhere. Well, so are all the papal documents, so are the U.S. documents. They're all available elsewhere. But I digress. Sorry if you hear Rusty over here. He's getting upset. We continue to hope that these ideas will increasingly give purpose and vitality to the Church in the United States. None has worked harder towards the end than the staff of the Department of Social Development and World Peace of the United States Catholic Conference and its former long-term director, Father J. Brian Hare, to whom we have dedicated this volume. That's probably as far as we're really going to be able to get in. We're already 12 minutes in. I don't know how much time you have to spend, but I wanted to kind of get you to know that it is edited. It is an edited collection. I got it because you've seen how it is when I print out these documents and the paper clip comes out. If I have it stapled in the corner, it's stapled in the corner onto words, and then I have to rip it apart, and then I have to go get a paper clip, and then I drop the papers, and it's chaos. And I don't know about you, but that's how it is when I'm looking at these. So it's nice to have them all bound in a book that we can have a bookmark. We have multiples of them here. And that is a lovely way of doing it. And that's why I've had it. And that's how I used the book before. So I've not looked at it, but it's definitely a curated edition, and it definitely has a particular slant. Trying to see if I can get here. It does say David O'Brien, so about the authors. David O'Brien is Professor Emeritus of Catholic Studies at the College of the Holy Cross and University Professor of Faith and Culture at the University of Dayton. He has served as President of the American Catholic Historical Association. No idea what that is. Okay, how about... Well, we'll never know who the other person is because I simply cannot get the sticker off the book, and it's not going to tell me. Oh, no. Is it perhaps here in the back? What are some features here? There is an index. The index is quite extensive and lovely, so you can look up things. I think there was like Mothers at Work. So is that under M? Let's go to M. Dun, 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 dun. Did I even see Mothers? Mothers, work of 4 or 6 multilateral agreements, multinational enterprises, nationalism, nations, and then there's a whole bunch of subdivisions. NATO is in here, the NCCB, USCC. There's quite a lot. You can see it's quite extensive. I could they have done probably even further? Yeah, there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pages of an index. They probably could have expanded that out a lot further for this chunky monkey, but they did not. And all of the endnotes are included with each individual document where it stands. I don't know what else to tell you about it. I mean, it reads like any other papal document. I would hope that one thing is, it's very common in English translations on the Vatican that there are typos and misspellings, and those are probably, since this is edited, those are probably going to be taken out. So that is definitely another advantage of using a book like this. Like I say, this is a curated collection. We may be looking at some of these in the near future. I may gather some other, where they have the introduction, I may gather some other voices from the internet and see what we have. Or we may be able to look at some of these documents. I'm able now to offer memberships. That is something that you could request, that we have an open conversation or studies of more encyclicals that are like not recorded, not available to the general public, just us talking openly and honestly on a private live stream on a live stream, so that we all can feel a little bit more secure about our opinions and all, and not be super worried about that, about what the algorithm thinks of what we're saying. So I wanted to introduce that book to you. You probably know of some other books. I think I do have also a compendium of Catholic social doctrine. It's probably in here in this section. I'll grab a look at that, and maybe we'll look at that next week. So until then, friends, may God bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you and to be gracious unto you. May the good Lord bless you. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.